Oh, there we go. There's a movie called there's Ari Aster's favorite films directed by Martin Scorsese was The Age of Unsays. I haven't seen the movie, but I'm gonna check on Netflix someday. But I haven't probably seen that. It's a film was pretty much the historical drama film with Daniel Day Lewis, Michelle Pfeiffer, and Winona Ryder, and it was pretty not received I never heard them. Never researched that movie. I never seen that movie, but I haven't seen it. But I will check someday. Anyway, and if you just say Esther was a great director, I would say when it was more like her. Any other people want seen short films or the first feature length film Hereditary. Most of the art house filmmakers more pointed in more different direction, and I gonna there are people seeing It Follows. The film was pretty much the defined horror genre, and it's pretty produced by the not A24. It was from Harvey Weinstein. No, the Weinstein Company subsidiary DWC Raiders, and before gone bankruptcy until reasons. So and some horror genre was more art house, and other filmmaker was Cameron same year as us, directed by Jordan Peele. And the movie was pretty also defined the horror genre as after who's success of Get Out. Because I know that people are art house filmmakers and more inspired filmmakers, more horror, not the jump scares, so bullshit. But Midsommar was no exception. And this movie is pretty much the film was the movie was pretty much my country Sweden about Midsummer tradition was. In northern part we live in Haga, that's an actual place, please Google it. In Hesseland, that's pretty much the movie. Four douchebags, college students, idiots, went the trip to Haga, and then after her Danny was played by Florence Pugh, of course, he after got her sister killed for some reason, because come on, it's A24, who cares? Anyway, unlike Jordan Peele, people seen us, who cares? I've never seen it. I get on Blu-ray someday or on Netflix. Anyway, and then the movie was called The Disturbing Thing, and the one sort of in one part was that's one is ending part. Long before that was the act 3 that Danny was in president of the dance competition May Crown, and then after that, and after the dance competition ended, and he won. He was a May Queen, and I love that performance, by the way. But I pretty say this guy got an Oscar nomination, but he's not. But unfortunately, the other Florence Pugh other performance in Little Women, the 2019 version, was got an Oscar nomination, but he didn't win. He lost the co-star from Little Women, Lauren Dern, from Marriage Story. It was on Netflix, and I would say this ending scene, and also the ending scene was more little bit different. The weird sex scene that most weird sex. This and obvious sex scenes is too obvious since. Ice was shot 20 years ago, and that were the much of anyone people seen Ice was shot with Tom Cruise doing weird sex scenes. I don't know what to say. May rest, and this movie was probably the final film before Vinci passed away. May rest in peace. Anyway, may rest in peace, Stanley Kubrick. Anyway, that movie is pretty much the ending, and then he like the unlike Recommend, this as my ending was my best. In fact, this movie and the movie would complete fire in the and then in hold on a second, what's it again? Jack Reno, and it was pretty much the hold on a second. Oh, there he is. What's his name again? Jack Rayner character. I think. Oh yeah, and Christian. Yes, that's right, Christian. And he was a character in the movie played by Jack Reynolds, of course. You know, the guy from Transformers movie I never saw. People seen that movie. Anyway, unlike a fellow Irish actor, Colin Farrell, but who cares? Anyway, that movie is pretty much and then Christian was got fought with sex scene and probably not learned from Ice Watch Shot. And then he was lucky, then our got over weird stuff happened. Then he was concluded one final scene before end was Christian gone over the best suit and fire, and Danny become our maid queen and her dress. And this because he smiled at the end. And that's so cool. A Midsummer Dream. No relation. And then more Proko, or the people call in Sweden, a Midsummer Tradition. You're welcome. Anyway, that's pretty much plot of the movie, but I would say the movie is most important that this movie completely changed the life, because this is one of my favorite films of the last year. Not people would like to see any blockbusters, but this one is mostly for our house, and I love this movie a lot, and I pretty much seen the movie. If you haven't seen this movie, go buy on Director's Cut Blu-ray and a stream on our Amazon Prime or something. This movie is pretty much the new formula of our house horror. Like a lot of people previous year, and maybe even last year's in 2018 was also Hereditary, became same year as Suspiria remake, and it's directed by Luca Guadagnino, you know, the guy who directed Call Me By Your Name. And I pretty say this movie pretty much their start movie was pretty much, I never seen that. I saw the weird dream sequence that rather since Midsommar has, but I pretty remember seeing that before. Thanks probably nothing to this with. Anyway, now I really love this movie. I give it solid A for me, because this movie is in fact, it's also, by the way, this movie also had a co-production with Sweden, because he involved a few Swedish actors, including Wilhelm Bergman, of course, and Gunnar Flea, and that's it. Hans Hallberg, of course. Anyway, that's where we get. So if you love this movie, go watch it. It was one of my favorite A24 films, period. And it was probably my all-time favorites. And I saw probably people seeing movies like, unlike the original Wicker Man and even remake. But this is a better Wicker Man remake. I really love this movie a lot, and I recommend to check it out. This movie, I deserve it. It was my favorite Swedish films shot in Sweden. It was pretty much American films shot in Sweden, but I recommend to check it out. This movie has become the main cream, and it's turned 1 year for you. I'll probably talk about it in part 3.